Shabbos Daf Min Beis. Bishamai say that the bottom water always wins. So therefore, it's usher to pour on Shabbos cold water into hot water because that would be cooking the cold water. But pouring hot water into cold water, that's mutter because you're not cooking the cold water. Beis Hillel say it doesn't make a difference. Even pouring cold water into hot water is mutter. A bath is a kli rishon. It's heated directly from the flame. And therefore, cold water into hot water is asur, and hot water into cold water is mutter. Reb Shimon ben Asya says, and the halacha is like him, that even hot water into cold water is also asur. But there was a havamina that Reb Shimon ben Asya wasn't talking about a bath, he was talking about a cup. And what he was saying is that in a cup, there's no machlokes between Beis Hillel and Shammai. Even Beis Hillel admit that you cannot pour even hot water into cold water. Abaye says that a seifel, which is a wash basin, even though it's for washing and you need really hot water, it doesn't have halacha like an ambatya of a bath that is a kli rishon. It's in fact a kli sheni. Since it's a kli sheni never cooks. Even if you have it at yatzei ledis, even if you have the temperature of 104 degrees like the Chazon Ish, or 114.8 degrees like Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, it can't cook. And therefore, I could pour cold water into the bottom hot water and it won't cook it, and that's mutter. Rava wasn't makbid when it came to kli sheni. He said you could pour cold into hot, and he has a raya from the Brisa. The Brisa says ma'ara kitain, you could pour from a flask of cold water directly into kli sheni hot water. Says the Mishnah, if one removes a large pan or pot from a flame, so they are now a kli rishon removed from the flame, you're not allowed to put spices into that dish because you'd be cooking the spices. Spices cook in a kli rishon. However, once you take out of that dish and you put it into a bowl or into a serving dish, now it became a kli sheni and you could add spices. It doesn't cook it. Reb Yehuda is more makel. He says spices don't cook typically in a kli rishon. The only way a spice could cook in a kli rishon is if you have vinegar or fish brine, which are very sharp, and they cause it to cook. Reb Chia says that salt is not in the category of a spice. So there are two explanations. Either he is saying that salt is much more sensitive than spices. It'll cook even in a kli sheni. And Reb Nachman says no. Salt is like bull's meat. It's very tough. It takes a very long time to cook. So Reb Nachman argues on that. Or Reb Nachman agrees to Reb Chia in the second lashon. And that's why Tesa says the halacha is like the second lashon. That salt is very tough to cook, and it won't even cook in a kli rishon. It takes a long time for it to cook, like bull's meat. The Mishnah says that one is not allowed to bring a kli on Shabbos to catch oil that's dripping out of a candle, because that oil is muktzah ben hashmashas, and by it falling into a vessel on Shabbos, it makes that vessel muktzah. And now you're being mevata kli me'echana. You're taking a kli out of service for that Shabbos, and that's asur. But you're allowed to put that kli there under the candle before Shabbos, as long as you don't use the oil on Shabbos. The Gemara says something similar when it comes to a chicken's egg. You're not allowed to take a kli and put it below the chicken to catch the egg on Shabbos, because you've been mevatel the kli me'echana on Shabbos. You're not allowed to use the kli anymore. However, you're allowed to, if the chicken already laid the egg, you're allowed to take a kli and cover the egg that people won't crush it. The Gemara says, though, the only time you're allowed to do that if it's hatzalah mitzuya. It's a common way to save the egg. Typically, a chicken will lay an egg in a heap of trash, so you're allowed to save it on a heap of trash. But if a chicken laid it on an incline, and you want to make sure it doesn't roll down the incline, that's not a hatzalah mitzuya. You're not allowed to save it like that. So the Gemara brings a lot of questions from different mishnayos. And basically, we'd have to say on these questions that they're considered hatzalah mitzuya. For instance, the Gemara asks, the halacha is that if a barrel breaks and it's full of wine, tevel, that you didn't do trumas and maasros on, you're allowed to save it on Shabbos by putting another kli, another barrel underneath. But a barrel typically doesn't break. We have to say that it's talking about hatzalah mitzuya, that it's a barrel that does typically break by using a brand new barrel. Brand new barrels are sensitive, they break. Another mission that we have later on in Masechta is that you're allowed to take a kli to catch sparks that come out of a candle. So we must say that the sparks are hatzalah mitzuya. It's common for things to have sparks. Have a wonderful day.